Hello students, now we are going to have a revision of this hip bone, and you have already done it with the lower limb. As this hip bone, it is a bone of pelvis and lower limb, so again we are going to recall some important bony landmarks. Now starting with the hip bone. This hip bone, it is a large irregular bone made up of three parts: superiorly ilium, antero-inferiorly pubis, and postero-inferiorly ischium. Now these three parts, they meet with each other in this cup-shaped hollow that is known as acetabulum. This one, right? Then this pubis and ischium, these both parts, they are separated by this large oval opening. This is known as obturator foramen. Now if we talk about the articulations of hip bone, this acetabulum, here head of femur articulates and it forms hip joint. Then at this point, this medial surface of the pubis, here opposite hip bone articulates and it forms pubic symphysis. Then next is the here sacrum articulates and it forms sacroiliac joint at the back. Both the hip bones of two sides together, they are known as hip girdle or pelvic girdle, and both the hip bones with the sacrum in between together, they form bony pelvis, right? Now we'll discuss all the individual parts one by one, starting with the ilium. I'm just going to name all the important bony landmarks, right? Ilium, it is expanded plate-like part of hip bone superiorly, and it is made up of upper end. It is known as iliac crest. Then it is made up of lower end, smaller, and it forms here upper 2/5 of the acetabulum. Then this ilium, it is having three borders and three surfaces. This is anterior border, this is medial border, and this is posterior border, right? Then three surfaces: iliac surface or iliac fossa. Then this one is sacropelvic surface, and this is gluteal surface. Now here we are concerned with the iliac crest because you are going to study the attachment of muscles of abdomen over here. So starting with this iliac crest, right, as I have already told you, it is this upper end of the hip bone, right, convex upwards vertically, and it is having further two ends. This is anterior end and this is posterior end. This anterior end is anterior superior iliac spine, which is a prominent bony landmark, this one, anterior superior iliac spine. Then posterior end of iliac crest is posterior superior iliac spine, this one, right? Now morphologically, this iliac crest is divided into two segments: ventral segment, more than anterior 2/3, and this is the dorsal segment. Ventral segment, if we talk about this ventral segment, it is made up of two lips. This is outer lip, this is inner lip, and this is the intermediate area, right? And this outer lip over here, about 5 cm behind ASIS, that is anterior superior iliac spine, on this outer lip there is an elevation. It is known as tubercle of iliac crest, right? So this is about the ventral segment. Then coming to the dorsal segment, it is having it forms less than posterior 1/3 of all of the iliac crest. It is having a lateral slope and medial slope, right? Then next is the anterior border. It extends from ASIS to another elevation over here. This is anterior inferior iliac spine. Then posterior border extends from posterior superior iliac spine to posterior inferior iliac spine. More down to this is this notch over here where my thumb is. This notch is greater sciatic notch, right? Then last border is the medial border. This is a medial border. Coming to the surfaces, iliac surface, I have already told you, this is a sacropelvic surface made up of iliac tuberosity. Then auricular surface, and this is pelvic surface, right? And the outer one is the gluteal surface. So this is about the bony features of the ilium. Now important attachment over here is I'm just going to name few of the muscles of abdomen. See, on the outer lip over here, in the whole extent, there is the attachment of fascia lata, right? Then in the anterior two-third, this one, there is the insertion of external oblique muscle, and next is the, over here in the posterior one-third of this outer lip, over here there is the attachment of latissimus dorsi muscle, right? So this is about the outer lip. Just in front of the tubercle there is also the attachment of tensor fasciae lata, right? Then coming to the inner lip, again inner lip, in the anterior two-third there is the origin of transversus abdominis. Deep to this origin of transversus abdominis, again it is a muscle of abdomen. Deep to it is the attachment of fascia transversalis and fascia iliaca, right? And in the posterior one-third of the inner lip there is the attachment of quadratus lumborum muscle, right? Now left is the intermediate area. In this intermediate area there is the origin of internal oblique muscle of abdomen. So this is all about the attachments related, right? Outer lip, intermediate area and inner lip, muscles of abdomen I have already told you. Then coming to this lateral slope and medial slope. Lateral slope will give this attachment to the gluteus maximus on the this dorsal segment, and medial slope will give attachment to the another important muscle, erector spinae, right? So this is all about the iliac crest, and this is all about the ilium. So we are done with ilium. Next part is the pubis. Pubis is the antero-inferior part of the hip bone. It forms the anterior part, this anterior margin of the obturator foramen, right? And this pubis forms the anterior 1/5 of the acetabulum over here, right? So pubis, it has got a body and two rami, right? This body, it is again having a superior border, the important landmark, this is pubic crest, right? And the lateral end of this pubic crest, this tubercle is known as pubic tubercle. Pubic crest and pubic tubercle, right? Then coming to the pubis, body of the pubis, three surfaces, already told you with the lower limb and three borders. This is a symphyseal or medial surface which articulates with the opposite hip bone to form pubic symphysis, right? Then next is the superior ramus. Again superior ramus, see superior ramus, it extends from the lateral end of the pubic tubercle to the this iliopubic eminence over here, right? Again this ramus has three surfaces, three borders. Important one is this superior border which is sharp crest like, it is known as pecten pubis or pectineal line, right? Then anterior, this border is the obturator crest, and this is inferior border which forms the anterior margin of obturator foramen. Surfaces was first surface, second and this one, right? This is pectineal surface, pelvic surface and inferior surface. So this is about the superior ramus. Next is this inferior ramus which extends towards this ischium and it forms conjoint ischiopubic rami. So this is about the pubis. Next is the last part of the hip bone, this is ischium. This ischium is the posterior-inferior part of the hip bone. This is a massive part and posterior-inferior part. It forms posterior boundary of obturator foramen and it forms posterior 2/5 of the acetabulum, right? This ischium, again it is having a body and a ramus. Ramus I have already told you, it forms with this inferior ramus of the pubis and they form conjoint ischiopubic rami. If we talk about this body, it has three borders, anterior border, then posterior border and this is lateral border. Surfaces, this is pelvic surface, then this is dorsal surface and this is femoral surface, right? Then if we talk about this posterior border, see this posterior border, when we go upwards, right, there is a sharp spine over here, this is known as ischial spine, and on going more upwards, this one is the greater sciatic notch, right? So this is greater sciatic notch, ischial spine and this is lesser sciatic notch, right? Then next is the anterior border which forms the posterior boundary of obturator foramen. Now the most important point here is to note this posterior end of the ischium, this is ischial tuberosity. This ischial tuberosity is divided by a transverse ridge into upper and lower area. Then upper area is again divided by a oblique faint ridge into supralateral and inframedial part, right? And here is the attachment of the muscles of the posterior compartment of thigh, right? So this is about the ischial tuberosity, and this is all about the hip bone. Now this is bony pelvis. Although you are going to study in detail later on, but for timing I am just going to give you an idea about the pelvic inlet, right? This bony pelvis, it is formed by two hip bones with the sacrum in between at the back and pubic symphysis in front. This is known as bony pelvis. Now this bony pelvis is divided into two parts by a oblique plane, that is pelvic inlet or pelvic brim or superior aperture of pelvis, right? Pelvic inlet starts in front from pubic symphysis, pubic crest, pecten pubis or pectineal line, then lower part of the medial border of ilium, anterior margin of ala of sacrum and sacral promontory. And the same pattern will follow here: anterior margin of ala of sacrum, lower part of medial border of ilium, pecten pubis and pubic crest. This complete forms the pelvic inlet. And from this ala of sacrum, this part of the medial border, pecten pubis, pubic crest, they together form linea terminalis. So this is about the pelvic inlet, which divide whole of the pelvis into two parts. Now above this pelvic inlet, this is the greater pelvis or false pelvis, and below that this is the lesser pelvis or true pelvis, right? Now greater pelvis occupies mainly abdominal viscera, and it also forms part of posterior abdominal wall. And lesser pelvis, it is the true pelvis, as it occupies main pelvic viscera over here, right? So this is the, you can say, demarcation point between the abdomen and the pelvis, right? And this is all about the hip bone and bony pelvis. Thank you.